So hey guys, let's begin our practice test today. Okay, type the missing letters. Nancy is a maid for a big hotel company. Every morning, she visits different rooms in the hotel and makes sure that everything is ready for the next set of guests. I think this was easy. Nancy is a maid for a big hotel company. Every morning, she visits different rooms in the hotel and makes sure that that everything is ready for the next set of guests. All right, I think we're good. Let's move on.
They noticed that the music was very loud.
They noticed that the music was very loud. Let's hear it again.
They noticed that the music was very loud.
I think we are good. Let's hear it for the last time.
They noticed that the music was very loud.
Okay, I think we are good. Inconsiderate, redundant, no. Obstacle, ability, budget, semester, trainer, scholarship, handheld, overhead. I don't think this is a word. Fatigue, patient, preventure. Not sure about this. Okay, let's go right once again. Redundant, potentiality, budget, semester, turnout, never had. Petty. Petty should be a verb, I'm not sure. Faulty, assurance, recommendation, influential. All right. Okay. If a function is continuous at a specific point, the limit can be moved inside the function. If a function is continuous at a specific point, the limit can be moved inside the function.
It is important for students to state their ideas clearly and concisely.
All right, let's hear it again.
It is important for students to state their ideas clearly and concisely.
Concisely. It is important for students to state their ideas clearly and concisely. Let's hear it for the last time.
It is important for students to state their ideas clearly and concisely.
Concisely. All right, I think we're good. Let's move on. Scientists try to explain why things act the way they do and predict what will happen. Scientists try to explain why things act the way they do and predict what will happen. All right. Manuel was one of the most influential ballet choreographers of all time. His dash of is revision of some older dash help would help meet their standard in the enduring ballet. Which were several of his no, several of his pieces. So what? No, I think there should be something else. Several of his pieces survive to this day. In some day, in some dash even when in some when the balance even when the dash they to have even when the dash they the balance they to be okay, what could this be? In some cases, even when the felt to have been uh, to close to love to Sanders and several of his pieces Samantha Sanders. Several of his pieces survive to this day. In some cases, even when the ballads uh, the dash they belong to have been loved. No, belong dash been loved to. No, I'm not sure about this. All right, let's move on. Anonymous, validity, proximity, mediocre, intent, mental, perceptive, emulation, guilt, betrays, wreckage, vitalistic, trace, emulation, fluid, vitalistic, versiforward, vocator, misspelled, anti-validity. All right, I think we are good. Trace, wreckage. They help students and researchers understand the order or chronology of historical events for a subject. They help students and researchers understand the order or chronology of historical events for a subject.
The company prioritized the use of recycled materials during the manufacturing process.
Use of recycled material during the manufacturing process. Let's hear it again.
The company prioritized the use of recycled materials during the manufacturing process.
During the manufacturing process. All right, I think let's hear it one last time.
The company prioritized the use of recycled materials during the manufacturing process.
All right, I think we are good. The controller then tells the input to turn off the power as the water is already boiling. The controller then tells the input to turn off the power as the water is already boiling.
Their first day at work was successful.
Let's hear it again.
Their first day at work was successful.
Their first day at work was successful. Oh, that's just one L. My bad.
Their first day at work was successful.
Their first day at work was successful. All right, let's move on. Wilderness, likewise, I'm not sure. Treaty, assertive, repuration, sure. Tate, compiness, capitalist, abrupt, infingly, condemn, device, I don't know, reliamental, speeches, adolescent. Likewise, result here report. Implementation limited, compiness, infingly, device. All right, let's move on. All right. While you could have been a viable candidate, you lack prerequisite desiderata. God. Your resume is somewhat overblown, so be somewhat overblown. So we strongly recommend recommend that you dial back the grand statement. We strongly recommend that you dial back the dash statements. Not sure about this. On top of this, your references are to illustrated. Illustrated. Illustrated? Sure. We dial back the dash statement. And the okay, resume is somewhat overblown, so we strongly recommend that you dial back the dash statements. On top of this, your references are too illustrated. LUSIO. We suspect that you may have fabricated completely their relationship with you. Dial back the dash statements. Recommend that you dial back the all right, let's move on. That's okay. Right. The games added many new things, such as breeding and a new bag system. The games added many new things, such as breeding and a new bag system.
These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are enjoyed together.
Let's hear it again.
These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are enjoyed together.
So then, 2, 3, 4, 3, together. 1, 2. Tea rooms are often doubled as bakery. Please so that. Okay, let's hear it.
These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are in.
Okay. Predominant, irresistible, revival, hierarchy, fraudulent, resilience, nostalgia, miniature, mediocrity, vaccination, fingertip, recede, uphill, inhaltic, buzzplea, disposic, preventable. All right, let's move on. All right, our company founded in engineering Pittsburgh. So since then, we have become renowned as makers of precision machine. Today, precision machines to and pioneers in technology. Then we have become renowned as makers of precision machine today. And today, I think today is the correct word here. Today and pioneers in technology. While our focus is still on manufacturing machine tools, our products has a product life has expanded to increase, oh no, to include a wider range. A product list has expanded, not life. That's correct. List has expanded to include a wider range of high performance equipment and services for a variety, ARIETY, of application in recent years. All right, let's read it again. Since then, we have become renowned as makers of precision machine today and pioneers in technology. While our focus is still on manufacturing machine tools, our product list has expanded to include a wider range of high performance equipment and services for a variety of application in recent years. All right, I think we are good. Let's move on. The position of a person is their status or responsibility in a community or group of people. The position of a person is their status or responsibility in a community or group of people.
Now, the telephone and email are the most common means of distance communication.
The telephone and email are the most common mean of distance communication. Let's hear it again.
Now, the telephone and email are the most common means of distance communication.
Means of distance communication. Let's hear it for the last time.
Now, the telephone and email are the most common means of distance communication.
Communication. All right, I think we're good. All right, let's move on to the interactive reading part. Jiho has always dash music, but he never dash how much loved music, but never dash once felt how much until he found his new dash band, new music band on the concert and was blown away. Gio has always loved music, but never felt how much never felt, or what are the other words? Never told, felt, had, never knew how much music. Knew how much until he found his new music band. Saw them, he was blown away, right? Always loved music, but never knew how much until he found his new favorite band. He saw them in concert and was blown away. In the past, he had listened to a lot of different kind of music, but this was the first time he has ever heard anything like this band. He went straight to his computer and bought every one of their CDs and posters he could find. He also watches most of their videos every Monday night. He looks forward for the new video. However, he was surprised to find that the musical taste has changed after he hung out with his friend. He looks around the room but couldn't find any clues as why the music was playing. He couldn't believe that they had been playing together so long, and he had never heard of couldn't believe that they had been playing together so long and that he had never heard of them before. Since the band was on the high school, Gio figured that he would never meet them in person. He looked around the room but couldn't see any clues as why the music was playing. That they had been playing together so long, and I think it should be this. Since the band was on high school, Gio figured that he looked around the room but couldn't find the clues why the music was playing. Since the band was on all right. What did Jiho do after he saw his new favorite band in concert? She's a little man. Couldn't believe that. Thank you so much. In the past, he listened to. What did Jiho do after he saw his new favorite band in concert? He went straight to his computer, CD and posters that he could find. Straight to his computer and bought every one of their CDs and posters that he could find. How does Jiho keep up with the new videos of his favorite band? Um, every Monday night, he looks forward for the new video. Keep up with their okay. Select the idea that is expressed in the passage. Gio was so excited about seeing his favorite band again, he stayed until the very end. Gio found his new favorite band by going to the concert. I believe it's going to be this. While Gio was listening to CD, he fell in love with the band song. Gio had an opportunity to see one of his favorite band first. Okay, I think that's this one. Select the best title. Gio's decision to sell his CD. Gio's new favorite band. Gio's college collection. Gio's new favorite band. All right. I think the reading is complete. Let's move on. Okay, conversation. You and your friend recently got a part-time job as a lab assistant for a professor. You are discussing how the job is going. Okay. So we have recently gotten a part-time job as lab assistant for professor. Okay. Hey, come on, how can I help you? Hey, how's Jesus going? How's the long going? So, how's the long going? How's the job going? So, hey, um,
It's going good. I'm really enjoying it.
okay. Yeah, me too. I didn't realize how much work went into setting up experiment before. We started a new experiment today, testing effect of sleep on student grades. Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty good. That sounds great. We're looking for a new assistant. Yeah, we are starting a new experiment today. Sounds really cool. That sounds good. Are they looking for a new assistant? Make sure that there's how much work. That sounds really cool. Me too. I don't know how much work went into setting up today. Ah,
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But it's really interesting to see how everything works and to be a part of the process.
well, part of the process. Okay. Come on. Doing one. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. That sounds like it would be worth it then. You're right. It's just a lot of money. So really, it's nice just sounds like it. What? Come on,
Yeah, definitely. I'm just glad that we were able to get these positions.
positions. That's great. I just started to interesting. What?
Absolutely. Everything is really organized and planned out ahead of time, which makes our jobs a lot easier.
So that sounds. Yes, that is a great solution. It's a great idea. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, me too. I didn't realize how much work went into setting up the experiment before. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's really interesting to see how everything works as part of the process. I'm glad that we were able to get these positions. Absolutely, everything is really organized and planned out ahead of time, which makes our job a lot easier. This position. Okay. All right. Below. Conducting experiment is an important part of science. Do you think students should have hands-on experience doing experiment to understand scientific concepts? Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this approach to learning. Okay. So we're talking about the experiment is an important part of experiment. Do you think students should have hands-on experience on doing uh, hands-on experience doing experiment to understand scientific concepts? Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this approach of learning. How might relying on the results of hands-on experience influence student understanding of science? Discuss the implications of reliance. How might relying on the results of hands-on experience influence student application of this reliance? Relying on the results of I feel reason of people this and then I think that's what I'm right.
If you could create any type of business, what would it be and why?
If I could create any kind of business, what would it be and why?
If you could create any type of business, what would it be and why?
Okay. So I would really like to open a business of a convenience store. The main reason why I feel that convenience store is my next business idea is that I really like helping people. With convenience store, people really face a lot of convenience to get any of the daily household things that they need. Secondly, I also feel that people, when they grow old, it's really difficult for them to go miles away to the big stores in order to get just few things. So having a convenience store could literally help them to get the things at their own convenience and just and it is as it is a convenience store, so it is supposed to be nearby to the residential houses. Secondly, I feel that there are no competitions in around the area that I live. Hence, I feel that having a convenience store in nearby location could also be very profitable. So this is the second reason why I feel that having a convenience store is going to be my next business option, as it would be the way how I could help others and it could also be profitable. Yeah. This image shows an unorganized way how vintage telephones are kept. There are a number of different telephones that I can see in the image. Each of the vintage telephone is of different color. There is also a transmitter kept onto the extreme right side of the image. This image also shows batteries that are kept just behind the telephones. And from the image, it also looks like this is some kind of cabin which has the collection of these phones. There is one more phone onto the left side of the image, which looks like the new phone. The reason why it looks like the new phone is that it comes with a new and modern design. Unlike the phones that are in the middle, which are pink and green in color, they look like the traditional phone, but the phone onto the leftmost side, which is of red color, is the modern phone. I can also see few equipments that are kept behind the phones. Okay, prepare to speak about the topic below. Discuss how volunteer work might or might not help people learn and develop useful skill. Volunteer work might or might. Okay. What are some skills that could be developed outside of the classroom? How might volunteer work help a person develop those skills? Okay. I think that volunteer work can really be helpful for people to develop some communication skills. These are some kind of skills that can only be learned outside of the class. And in order to master the skills, you really need to communicate with someone. The communication skill, like I said, is the best example that can be learned outside the classroom. And if a student goes in for a volunteer work, for example, volunteering a work at one of the community services, he can easily come across multiple people where he can openly talk about various issues or various topics. This could really help him develop his confidence to talk with someone, and also he can really be very fluent in communicating. So this just not only helps in developing the communication skills, but also makes him ready for the upcoming futures. Secondly, he can also face anyone ahead in his life if he masters the skill of communicating with that person. Writing and speaking sample. Contribute to the score. All right, let's move on. Prepare to write about the topic. Describe a person you know and who you think is very kind towards other. What do they say or do they show do that shows that they are kind? What have you learned from them? Include specific details in your answer. All right. So, all right. What do they say? Set. Good. Let's move on. Okay, centered. What is an important life lesson that you have learned in last few years? Explain why it was such an important lesson to learn. It's an important life lesson that you have learned. Okay. So one of the important life lessons that I have learned in last few years is to learn something uh, before doing anything. For example, the one of the things that I feel that I should have had more knowledge of is of investing in stock market. This is really one of the most important lessons that I learned in life. And this is because I started investing money in stock market even before understanding how the stocks actually work. And because of this reason, just because I don't know how actually the stock market works, what are the gains, what are the losses, what are the profit statements, how does company performs. All of these things really mattered when all of these things are really important to understand before you start investing. And since I had no idea before I started investing, I tend to lose a lot of money in the stock market during the early times. But this life lesson has really helped me to understand quite a lot of things. And with these things, now I am able to invest correctly with the proper techniques and into the proper stocks. This is really important because there are so many different types of companies into the stock market, and understanding each and every company, right from the companies that are listed with penny stocks to comparing to the companies, well-established companies like Google, Facebook, Nvidia, etc. So it's better to be on a safe side rather than spending money on any random company which you don't know about. And so these are all the experience that I gained from um, understanding about all of these companies. And this has really helped me to even invest properly and recover the losses that I made in the stock market earlier. Now I really have a good understanding of how to invest and how to invest in a good company, which can give me a good returns in future. And I also have an understanding of the exchange traded funds, which is also another kind of stock that you can purchase, but it wouldn't have a significant ups and downs during the upturns and the downturns of the market. So this is really an important lesson that I learned recently in last few years. All right. So there it is. All right. Thank you everyone for watching this video.